Connor Grogan didn't start working to be the best he could be in the summer before his senior year, or at spring practice. He started in elementary school in Manasquan, New Jersey, when he was hanging over the fence at the high school games, dreaming of being a Warrior.
Football is important to me. I can remember being 4 years old with a Warriors jersey down to my ankles, lugging water bottles onto the field for the players during timeouts, or picking up the tee after a kickoff. I'd run around during halftime carrying a football, spinning around invisible defenders, and diving into the end zone. In fact, I can't remember a time in my childhood where I didn't have a football in my hands. My favorite childhood memories were not my games, though. They were the Manasquan High School games. I would ride my bike down Main Street on my way to the game, watching the band march through town on those brisk fall afternoons. I would walk through the gates and stand there in awe, watching as the crowd went wild when the team trotted out of the locker room. I walked down to the southwest corner and listened to the band play the famous Tomahawk Chop. I look at the scoreboard that says Vic Caboo Warrior Field, and I remember all the legends that have worn the blue and gray uniforms. I remember Coach Caboo walking out to greet his grandchildren at the 50-yard line. I remember traveling to away games on Friday nights to watch the Warriors play under the lights. I remember the Thanksgiving parade and the bonfire at Mallard Park and the game versus Wall the next morning. I remember seeing the seniors cry as the time runs out in their last game as a Warrior. But what I remember most is watching the fans storm the field and seeing the team celebrate after another state championship victory. I would think to myself, when will it be my time? When will I win my state championship? When will I become a part of the tradition, the history?
When the time came, he didn't leave it to chance. He outworked everybody. When his teammates met to run on the beach, Connor came from an early morning workout with a trainer. And when they were done, he went back to the high school to lift some more. He was already a team leader.
Connor and I have been playing football for 11 years. Connor's heart's been in this game ever since he put the shoulder pads on in Mighty Mites, and ever since then he's tried his hardest to become the best player he can be. And while he's being the best player he could be, he's pushing everyone, including me, to be the best player they could be. And that's just the quality of a true leader and a mentor on the field. And I've never gotten to thank him for that, because I'd never be the player I am today without him.
But the game changed when Hurricane Sandy blew in over the Jersey Shore. Football was an afterthought in Manasquan, where the beachfront was devastated and 60% of the town was underwater. A week later, with an undefeated opponent looming and the town still without power, the team went to the beachfront and shoveled their neighbors back into their homes. They worked until it was dark, and they went back the next day and shoveled some more. On Wednesday, it snowed. Connor and his teammates spent Thursday and Friday clearing their field, one shovelful at a time, just for the chance to play a home game on Saturday. Their gift to a town looking for some sign of normalcy. When game time finally came, Connor was the one who caught a long breakout pass as the Warriors scored twice in the last 6 minutes and held on for the upset. 2 weeks of pent-up emotions spilling out on the sideline and in the stands. 2 weeks later, back on the same field for the annual Thanksgiving Day game, Connor took a hard hit, suffering a likely hairline fracture of the lower leg. Trainers taped him up, assuming he'd be in too much pain to try to play. But at halftime of a tie game, Connor called his teammates around him. He told them he'd been preparing for this moment his whole life, and he hadn't come this far to go out a loser. Then he went out on that injured leg after a bobbled handoff and ran for the winning touchdown, reminding everybody that the best thing about a young kid's dream is that sometimes, if you work hard enough, you can make it come true.
Connor's a walking superlative. He's a straight-A student, he's a coach's dream, and he's a proud father's son. It's hard to pigeonhole him in any one category. But I was asked by a reporter after a Thanksgiving game where I would put Connor in the lexicon of our program. He'd just come out of halftime with a diagnosed possible broken leg, and he took a reverse handoff and scored our game-winning touchdown. I didn't know what to say back then, but I've since read that Malcolm Forbes once said, to measure a man, you have to measure his heart. And if there's any truth to that, then we haven't anybody walk through our program's doors any bigger than Connor Grogan.
My name is Connor Grogan and I'm being nominated for the Heart of a Giant Award. Although I know all the other candidates that have been nominated for this award are extremely qualified and well-deserving, I really believe that it's the unique situation that we in Manasquan faced with Hurricane Sandy is what makes me the best candidate for this award. We as a football team went down to the beachfront and we were looking to help out anyone in the community that we could. People we didn't even know, people that were strangers. We just wanted to do whatever we could. Also, we went and shoveled our own field after the snowstorm a few days later came. Without us doing that, we wouldn't have been able to play a home football game in front of the crowd of people that we knew needed something to come together for after the hurricane. Also, I really think that it was great to see all the people that came together for the voting process to help me out. I put it on Facebook and Twitter and people just spread the word for me. I was getting texts and emails from people who I hadn't heard from in years and they just wanted to help me out. They were telling me they were spreading the word and voting for me every day. So I was really honored and overwhelmed to see how much people were willing to help me. So pretty much I just try and be a role model in the community, do whatever I can to help out, try to be a leader, and I really hope I can win this award and get the $5,000 for Manasquan football for all they've done for me over the years.
We're rooting for you, Connor. We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.
We're rooting for you, Connor.